not the child of the world. We all need a little peace. Do you feel a little broken? Do you feel a little broken? Do you feel a little
Alright everybody, so it's Friday. I just flew into Richmond this morning with my grandfather. We have 2 practices and qualifying this afternoon. Kind of a short day, don't really have anything on my schedule. Got some fun plans for tonight for dinner. But this is one of my favorite racetracks to race at. I know I've said that a lot and I always say that. I just love racing. But I love coming here to Richmond. It's a really challenging track. So hopefully we're going to have a good day, have a good weekend, and have a good finish. I love you, baby girl. I miss you. Check this out. These guys reached out to me on Instagram and sent me some Goodyear shoes. Check this out. Woo. These are tennis shoes. Sick.
The race car?
No, they're just for street, man. For pimping. Pimping. You gonna make qualifying? What do you mean? You just got done.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
Are you tired?
Dude.
Oh, dude. Damn, your bed's not very soft. Huh? Why?
I'm hot. Hot.
Nice and sleepy?
What's that?
Nice and sleepy? You don't even take your shoes off in your bed? That's kind of weird. Just sleep in your shoes? If you're tired enough, you will. Nighty night. There we go. Draining this. That's got. What? There it is. There it is. Alright everybody, so I'm gonna give you guys a quick hauler tour of our 13 Geico hauler here in Richmond. So as you can see, they got the tires have been released for tomorrow. So the tire guys will set out all the different sets of tires, measure them, measure the stagger, and get the air set right in them, getting ready to race tomorrow. Here's his air tanks for doing that. Milt, one of our truck drivers, he's getting a little food prepared for everybody. So, coming on in, we have everything in this hauler to pretty much totally build 2 race cars. We have our backup car that is up above us right now, that we hope we never see, never pull out. That means I have crashed in practice or qualifying, so hopefully that thing always stays in there. We have all the radios for all the team guys are right here. Charging stations, headsets, everything that you need. And then we have extra parts for those too as well. But pretty much every one of these drawers serves a purpose for the race car. Like grill screen, so you don't knock out a radiator. This little area here is most important. Food. This is where a lot of our food is. This is the secret cabinet. If you ever make it on this hauler, it's like the cribs fridge. What? That's how you stay skinny on the road. Got a bolt van here, list of cabinets for everything you need, even office supplies. This is the one I use the most. Get Sharpies out of. But got shock dynos for building shocks and anything we need to adjust on the shocks going forward. Our shock guy, he lives in this area pretty much. Got everything that he needs. He's got all the different parts, shims, bleeds, everything that he needs is right here. Got some more valuables with the fridge. Our backup car. This is where she sleeps, this is where she stays. I hope we'll never bring her out, like I said. TV for the guys when we're ever slowed down, which is hardly ever. Now come up here. This is the lounge. You guys have seen some scenes from in here where I come in and change. This is my area. This is where the helmet lives, helmet dryer. This is where my suit, clothes from the day that I wore to the track, fire underwear, neck suits coming up. My shoes usually live down there, socks, and did some miscellaneous things. But also this is where the engineers, 2 engineers, crew chief, kind of a mixed bag. Sometimes I'm here, Craig, and Larry, team manager. And then we use these computers, usually when they're running it has timing and scoring up, and this is kind of our central hub for going through everything that we're downloading as far as when I come off the racetrack and preparing for qualifying race and realizing where we're at. And as you can tell, everybody's still working. This is a very busy place. So this is a quick tour of the hauler, and this is where we live. This is where the guys spend most of their time. They work 12, 14, 16-hour days sometimes here at the racetrack, and this place is very, very valuable to them. So I'm here in Richmond after qualifying, and this is one of my favorite places to come eat at. It's called Cooper's Hawk. Great food. Haley and I always try to get out here and eat. She's back at home with Oakley. I wish she was here with me. I wish both of them are here. We'll see you tomorrow after the race. But I'm gonna do a little fun food review and show you guys what we're getting. It's so good. We gotta put that camera down and eat some. Just left Cooper's Hawk. I give it an 8 out of 10. I think the food was amazing. Atmosphere is great. It was pretty cold, but the food was pretty good. What do you think?
Yeah, it was definitely an 8.
I would have liked to have a different flavored cheesecake on the menu. That would have really probably bumped me up to 8.5, possibly a 9. But you know what's good? There's a cheesecake factory across the street.
On the bitches that you got with me.
Oh, they didn't have blueberry.
Listening to that J. Cole album.
You hit my phone, you need a loan, oh, I'm a
We want to start doing a social media mailbag, and whether it'll be every week or every once in a while, I'll be tweeting it out or putting it on my Instagram to send me some questions. So this week here in Richmond, I tweeted out to send in some questions, and I've got 3 or 4 that I want to answer from some fans of the ride and myself from Twitter. So here we go. The first one is from Julie Anderson. Her question is, a few years back, there was a thing called the Pit Crew Challenge. Due to funds, it ended. We knew the whole team. Now we are very lucky just to know who the crew chief is. Assuming the question is, do I wish it came back? And I do. I used to go to the Pit Crew Challenge every year in Charlotte. I thought it was a really awesome event that let the guys who work and travel just as much as the drivers and have just an important role as to the finish in the championship and week in and week out to have their moment. And the Pit Crew Challenge was really awesome. I don't see why we don't still do that. I know it needs to be funded, but I think we need to do a little more for our pit crew guys to make sure that they have a name. I think that's the reason we went to a 5-man crew and went to a commonized gun, is to put it back in the hands of these crew members that make sure that certain crew members get spotlight and you know who the good ones are. And I think we need to do more to hype in that for them. James Milton at Freebie2 tweeted, would you like to see NASCAR get back to racing like the 80s and 90s? I think our racing is just as good as the 80s and 90s. I think our personalities as far as drivers need to continue to grow. I think that was what was so big at the time. Our sport was at a great point. But I think as this group of young drivers and myself, we get more and more comfortable in the sport. You're going to see more and more personality. You're going to see more and more run-ins. But I think you look at the racing, and it's better than it's ever been, even better than the 80s and 90s. If you go back and watch all the races, there was races where there was 8-10 cars on the lead lap, and we had the same struggles then as far as making racing better as we do now. So I think the personalities and the hype of the sport needs to reach that level again, but I don't think the racing is much worse. Julie Ambrose at Ambrose J. Sanders. Do you really drink soda after the race, or is it water dressed up in a soda bottle? I always just have water. I don't have a soda sponsor, so I'm always drinking water. I do know, like from my perspective, other drivers, most of them are drinking actually what's in the can, which sometimes seems like it might be tough to drink after a really hot day, but like sometimes some refreshments there's nothing better. But I do know, I'd say 75% of the time it's the actual drink, and then there's probably 25% of the time that it's water poured in the drink for certain situations. Good question. It's probably interesting. A lot of people want to know it. I have a strong stance on this one. The real Jake Miller at Jake Lloyd Miller. Do you really drink twisted tea, or do you drink real man drinks? All right, Jake Miller. Twisted tea is a real man drink. Actually, most men, middle-aged men, drink twisted tea, if you didn't know that. It's really good. I have a whole fridge full. It's the only thing I drink, and it is manly. So I think you should probably drink more twisted tea and you would get it. But that's a wrap on this week's mailbag, social media spotlight, whatever we're going to call it. But we're going to do some more of this. So be on the lookout on my Twitter and Instagram, at Ty Dillon on Twitter, at Ty_Dillon on Instagram, to be ready to send in more questions next time. So thanks. That's a wrap from Richmond. I was sitting there walking, I said, I know he's around here somewhere. We've been going back and forth on Twitter, trying to figure out how to meet up. Hey everybody, here at the drivers meeting, and it's been a long day.
Be smart, cool, ride the shit out of it.
Yep.
That's all you can do.
Yes, sir.
You can edit that, drive the shit out of it if you want to.
We'll turn it up.
Drive it like you stole it. How's that?
That's right.
You can edit it to that.
My heat shifts for my heels. The exhaust runs right underneath my heels, so even with these, sometimes your feet get burned up, but it's a little extra protection. Can never be too safe. Dropping the air pressure out just made the tires come to life. I would have kept going. The only reason I wouldn't have gone anymore is because we started getting on the splinter again. We sucked the first run, and then after that, we jumped the air pressure out. Leaving Richmond, battled hard, P20. Short weekend. We're gonna head home now, see the girls. But good weekend. We're building some momentum. I built a good energy coming.